and still be very much in love. Because they've fallen in love with the real person. And that's a whole lot deeper than this. This, I think of, this picture is kind of representative of the kiddie pool. The kiddie pool of relationships. Like real shallow, kind of hooking up with folk you hardly know, sharing bodily fluids with somebody because, oh, we're dating, so I guess we should share bodily fluids at this deep level of human intimacy now because the culture tells us. And I say, welcome to the kiddie pool. It's shallow. Kiddie pools are shallow. They're not real exciting. Little kids pee in them. That's why they're warm. So why would you want to hang out someplace where you kind of don't belong? Why not hold out for the ocean? I'm sorry you have to leave. Right. So anyway, why hang out in the kiddie pool? This is what our culture's making a big deal out of, folks. I want to tell you, hey, come join us in shallow hookup relationships with folks we barely know. And girls, some of you may be thinking, oh, but you don't know him like I do. No, I probably know him far better than you do. I've coached guys for years in high school. I've been around a whole lot of guys in my work. And I am a guy, and I just know this. The average senior in high school, when I speak in high school classes, I ask the seniors, guys, raise your hand if you've answered the question, who am I and where am I going with my life? How many guys you think usually raise their hand in the average class? Yeah. Zero, maybe one. They're basically admitting to the class, to whoever, I don't even know who I am yet. And that's okay. That's okay. But I want to say to you girls, if he doesn't know who he is, I guarantee you don't. And he might be saying, I love you, and you're the one for me, and later he's going to think, he's going to grow in some way, change in some way, and say, no, you don't fit with me, bye. Or she winked at me, bye. Or that was last week, see ya. I loved you then, not now, I'm telling you. Okay, so anyway, let me give you a snapshot of the ocean. This is the kiddie pool, and you look at the people that are in the kiddie pool culturally, and they're not happy folk. Some of you have older brothers or sisters, and they've been splashing around here, and there's all this pain and drama and tears in their life, and worries and stresses about diseases and everything else because they've been hanging out in the kiddie pool. And we put them on the pedestal, and put them on Cosmo magazine, and we have shows like Sex and the City, and we look at Britney and Lindsay Lohan, or whatever her name is, and all these people that are here in the kiddie pool, and they're miserable folk, and they're on drugs because they're so unhappy. When they could, like, go for the ocean. Now the ocean, it's a little scary at times, but it's deep, and it's a little adventurous, and it's mystery, and it's powerful, and all that. The ocean is more like real love, real deal love. Brendan, to me, is an example of that. Brendan is just graduated from college. 2 months ago, we were at Delaney High School, and he was speaking with me there. Brendan brought his fiancée, Sarah. They're getting married this summer, both just graduated from college. He said, Sarah and I are abstinent. We haven't had sex. We've been dating 4 years, never had sex. Now that's tough. That's hard to do. Okay, but he said, right now I'm falling in love with who she is here and who she is here, because 50 years from now her body isn't going to be quite so beautiful, and I still want to be in love with her. Now, is that weak and wimpy? No. No, thank you. Our culture mocks Brendan. Our culture mocks him. Oh, he's still a virgin. He hasn't gotten some. I guess he's not a real man yet. No, and he's like 6'5" anyway. And he, it's not that he hasn't grown up physically or something. It's not that he couldn't get some. Getting some. How is it that somehow getting some makes fun of man? I'm like, oh, so in other words, really like maybe even being a predator, fooling some girl into thinking that I really do mean it when I say I love you, just long enough so I can get her clothes off, is somehow going to make me like a really honorable, wonderful man? Or a teen guy with that mindset? I got some. Yep, got another notch on my gun belt. Now I'm the player. Great. You're an emotional 3-year-old in a grown-up body that thinks the world revolves around you. That does not make you a man. So, anyway, I just think the ocean, why settle for the kiddie pool when you can hold out for the ocean? A great writer that I like, C.S. Lewis, said, our problem as humans is not that our desires are so great. Our desires for intimacy and beauty and mystery and adventure and all these things, they're great. Good deal. The problem is not that our desires are so great, but that we settle for so darn little. We settle for the kiddie pool when we could be holding out for the ocean. We settle for mud pies in an alley when we could hold out for sand castles at the beach. And so the problem is, why? Well, do we have to have this immediate gratification of sex? Or could we kind of hold off and say, I'm going to keep this present wrapped up. I'm going to make it something deep and real and mystical in my life, rather than some cheap common thing I give away to each dating partner along the way. Oh yeah, he said I was cute, we went to McDonald's 3 times and he sent me 3 text messages. Now it's just time to share bodily fluids, to unwrap this present of myself and enter into this deepest level of human intimacy with this person I barely know. No, that's what the culture says is normal. We live in a crazy culture. So sometimes going against the flow is good, and sometimes it's actually fun to be different like that. It's strong. So anyway, kiddie pool versus the ocean. You have to decide, and folks, it's tough. And look, it's easy for me. I'm old. I can blah 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 up here all day. You're in it. You guys are going to be in the that flow of that river trying to push you along. It's hard. I don't want to minimize that. Okay. Now we have 10 minutes, real quickly. Sex affects us emotionally. You can't put a condom over your heart. Okay, so emotional pain can sure hurt a lot. I'm going to read a couple feedback letters from girls. Because, let me ask you, do you think girls or guys typically are getting hurt at a younger age? Typically.
Yeah, girls.
Girls, I agree. And there's a boatload of reasons why often girls are more emotionally tuned in and wanting love at a younger age. And somebody said girls emotionally are sort of like compared to like a 7-lane superhighway, and guys emotionally are like a country dirt road. I think it's true. Anyway, yes.
But that's like, girls are just like more emotional and drama.
Amen to that. Drama. Yes. I just